As Lizzie just mentioned, we're going to have more now on the Deficit Commission plan. Our chief Washington correspondent, Peter Cook, is on the Hill with one of the panel members. Hey, Peter.
Lisa, thanks very much. I'm joined here by Senate Budget Committee Chairman Ken Conrad. He, as you said, also a member of the deficit panel. Thank you very much for the time. And I got the document here, and in some words, some people have described this political kryptonite. What's going to happen to this plan?
You know, I very much hope that something of this magnitude is approved, because it is going to take something of this scale to deal with the problem. This is $4 trillion of deficit reduction over the next 10 years. And that's about what you need to get us back on track.
There are a lot of people saying some of these things are dead on arrival already. We've heard Speaker Pelosi call parts of this unacceptable. We've had other critics take shots at this. As you look at this package right now, how much of this can actually survive?
You know, I don't know. But what I do know is a failure to act is consigning this country to second-class economic status. That is clear from all that has been provided to this commission. The right has said don't touch revenue. The left has said don't touch entitlements. If you don't touch revenue and you don't touch entitlements, you can't solve this problem. And if we don't solve this problem, the Chinese, who are our biggest creditors, have already this week downgraded our debt. So I think we can see the future. And the future is a slow move down for the economic strength of the country, a slow erosion of economic opportunity, and second-class status for our country. But that's not acceptable.
But you have to know that there are parts of this plan that really politically aren't feasible, and there's got to be things in here that you, as gung-ho as you've been to try and get the country's fiscal house in order, that you won't support. Name one or two things in here that won't work for Ken Conrad.
Well, there are a couple of things. Look, I don't want to. And one of the revenue options does away with the child tax care credit. I don't want to do away completely with the child care credit. There's an elimination of the mortgage deduction in one of the options. I would prefer not to do that, at least on people's primary residence. So, yeah, there are things here that I'd prefer not to do, but I think we need to focus on what has to be done for our country's sake. And those who say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do anything, they owe it to the American people to tell us what would they do. What's the alternative? Because I can tell you the alternative, doing nothing, is far more severe in the long term in its effect on our country than this plan or any plan of this magnitude.
Really quickly, a couple of seconds after the Bush tax cuts, on top of everything else you've got going on, you got to deal with that in this lame duck session of Congress. Is there a deal on the table? Will we see a temporary extension for everyone?
What I proposed months ago was a temporary extension 2 years, and give this commission a chance to propose fundamental tax reform, which this package does, dramatic reduction in tax expenditures, offset by a dramatic reduction in tax rates for everyone.
All right. Ken Conrad, as always, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us here on the Hill.
Good to see you, Peter.
Lisa, we'll send it back to you. A lot going on here in D.C., as you can tell.
All right. Thank you. Peter Cook, my colleague out in Washington, D.C.